Hi everyone, I'm with Nathalie Carden and she is from Zen Sound Healing, and we are just doing a Facebook Live for the first ever time through through Zoom. So this is really exciting, and we have an event coming up called Connecting to the Heart through Voice and Sound, and we're just having a conversation here. So if anyone has any questions, you can pop it in. I can't currently see Facebook. I'm not quite sure how to do that at the same time, but I will answer your questions. Nathalie will answer your questions. If you have any questions for Nathalie, I was just talking about, I'm confused. We're just getting used to doing this. I don't know what's on the screen right now. View full screen. Okay, that should just be us now. And so I was talking about how I had a lot of pain in my stomach just about, was it like 10-20 minutes ago? And Nathalie was doing some healing on me, and I can tell you honestly that the pain is a lot less right now, and the fact that I'm actually feeling bright enough. I mean, you saw me, Nathalie, like when I came on, I was like this.
Yep.
My energy was so low, and I didn't even know if I was able to do this. And in fact, we didn't even know we were going to do this full conversation right now, but it just seems to be happening. So I hope that's okay with you, Nathalie, just to kind of carry on and do it as it comes, and we'll see how it comes out, because really it is all about flow and going with the flow, and I know Nathalie talks about that a lot. And I find with myself, and just to share this with some of the people that are watching, because I'm sure you can relate, it's like I have a lot of pressure on myself to, I've got to do work, I've got to do this, I've got to do it right, I've got to get the technology right, and it was causing so much pressure in my solar plexus, which is the area, the center of power, where you get stuff done. But if that center is too tight or constricted, it means that there's no flow. And with my work that I do with singing, a lot, you use your power center to sing, and when you sing, it releases that energy. So if you just go like you breathe, and then you make and it just wow, it just releases the sound. I was working with one of my clients this morning, and she was practicing making those sound, and she said about how when she does singing, she feels the vibrations through her body, and she can feel that it's a healing experience. And that's why I'm so passionate about sound and singing, because it really is one of the most healing things that you can ever do. Apparently it's like the highest form of healing, because it is so powerful. Because
it truly is. The shifts that you can achieve with sound alone, and that's just with certain frequencies, and the power of the word. Each word, each letter carries a vibration. So we all talk about positive affirmations, but we tend to forget that before doing all this work with positive affirmations, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but they won't work until you have gone down the route of, hang on a minute, what is the story that I'm telling myself in my head at the moment? Which story have I heard from my parents as a child? Who am I? Am I these things that everybody said I am? Or I said I am, because I may be holding on to a lot of shame, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of I'm not really good enough, so I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to leave that bit, and I'm just going to say I'm brilliant. I mean, it's not going to work because you haven't gone down the route of actually, where is all this coming from? So with sound, what sound allows you to do, it's the way I see it, it's almost like it's softening all these blocks. It's even like making little holes and making it more pliable, so you can work with it and you can start removing the layers of what's been going on within you. And by achieving this, you're bringing through your body, and I nearly spoke light language right now, bringing more light, source life into the body, into the emotional body, into the mental body, and into the spiritual body. And you shine bright.
Wow.
So sound is very, very powerful.
I'm just feeling gratitude is the word right now, because I'm just grateful to be able to know you and to have that energy flow, but just here to just have you here, and to be able to talk about this, and to receive that healing. It's powerful, and I'm just so grateful that I know you and we can do this together. And that you came along to my workshop. Before that, so the way we met was that me and Nathalie were part of a program called Healing and Believing, that James Dand, hi James, if you're watching this at any point, I'm sure I'll send it to you so that you can watch it. But we are on Healing and Believing together, and we were both asked to be a part of this healing program. And then I think it was when we were doing the live interview with James, and you were commenting on my interview, and then I was thinking, who's this person that's also interested in what I'm interested in, and she seems so passionate, and I just thought, oh, that's really interesting. And then I think it was months and months later, in the year, time had passed, and then I just had my event on, which I do every month, Finding Your Voice, and we do sounding. I use my little bowl, which I can't use one.
Tibetan bowl.
Make sounds, and we sing, and we use our voices to heal.
And there's nothing more powerful than your own voice to heal yourself.
Absolutely.
Nothing more powerful.
Absolutely.
Because that with the breath is your connection to source.
And I think one of the things that with healing, it's like we so often try to go to other people to try to be healed, but really often we have it within ourselves to sound. And I'm obviously saying, go to a healer if you need, it's powerful, but also you have it within you as well.
Well, let's talk about this actually.
Yeah.
A healer is not there to heal you. You're allowing the healer to bring in the frequencies that you need to start your own healing process.
Yes.
So the healer's not going to heal you. The healer is there to facilitate. It's like a conduit to bring in whatever it is you need. So that's what I was saying earlier. I will bring in whatever source decides I need to bring in for your own healing process.
Yeah. And
so,
go on.
So basically, a lot of it, I can't can't find the word in English. I forgot to say I am French, so you know the accent. I'm thinking in French, sorry. A lot of it depends on how much responsibility you're prepared to take for your own healing journey.
Yeah.
Because we may have been there at once upon a time, but we are now at the point where we need to take responsibility for our actions, our words, and our thoughts.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And the time of, you know, projecting
is over.
It's over. It's time to look at, deep down at me here. Who am I? And what am I really? Once you can get rid, once you can work on labels.
Yes.
Once you come out of your inhibitions, because a lot of it, especially to do with the voice, there's a lot of people I find have a lot of blockage around the throat chakra.
Yes.
Where they've not been able to speak their truth.
Yes.
Where they've been repressed in some way, where they've, even down to, I was just thinking about it a few days ago, even down to when people have pain, or when people need to express that they are sad and they need to cry. How many times have you heard, oh, don't cry. Oh, no, I can't deal with it. Sorry, do not cry. We don't cry here. And people see it as a sign of strength, but it isn't. Actually, all you're doing is
blocking healing,
all this density within you and repressing all of this. And the more you do it, the more it creates these huge blocks within you. And when it comes to actually expressing what is really going on for you, you can't find the words because you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's like crying. Have you ever heard that phrase? I don't know who said it, but I heard it from Marissa Peers, but it's not her quote, but she said something like, if you don't cry, your organs will.
Well, let's put it this way. If you hold on to all that grief, first of all, the liver, the heart, the chest, all of this is going to be, and it can be showing different parts of your body, of course, but mainly the liver, mainly the gallbladder, mainly the heart center, and the lungs. So your body is going to be absorbing all of this energy instead of allowing a release. If you look at the animal kingdom, and many people have already said what I'm just about to say, but I will say it again anyway.
Yeah.
If you look at the animal kingdom, if an animal is put in a state of fear,
yeah.
When
Sorry, I'm just sharing, but I'm listening.
They start shaking, so they shake themselves.
Yeah.
The animals don't cry, but they've got another way of dispersing this energy that they've just accumulated within their own body.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not going to stand there, start shaking, even though it would be a good idea to maybe do a little bit of that.
I do shaking in yoga a lot. I do yoga, and at the beginning, you go like this.
Yeah. So crying is a release, and we all know that we are made mainly of water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a cleansing process. When we're releasing that toxicity through tears, we can feel that energy leaving our own body.
Yeah. I love crying. It sounds really sad. It sounds so funny because it's like whenever anyone, like if I'm upset and I'm crying and somebody tells me not to cry, I go, no, stop. No, I'm allowed to cry. This is my healing time. Allow me to cry. I'm very straight up with people.
I've actually heard, I was at work many years ago and I was really upset. Something really hurt me. And even though I endeavored to remain professional, it was overwhelming. I just couldn't hold it anymore. So I started crying. One of my colleagues looked straight at me and she said, please don't do that. I don't do crying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, each to their own. I understand that. But at that point, that's what I needed to do.
Do you know what it is, though? It is fear. So it's when someone hasn't able to hold that energy themselves. So if you're with someone that can't actually look after themselves when they're crying and hold themselves when they're crying, then they won't be able to hold yours.
No.
So it's almost impossible for them to have that empathy and that holding and that space and that love and care, because they are trying to hold back their own emotions.
And yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point, because what's happening here is by allowing this to happen in their vicinity, the fear of being triggered into a wound that they've not looked at or addressed may be reopening, and it scares people.
Yeah. I always try to encourage to that letting go of the fear of emotions. So a lot of my work involves emotions. When you're doing a performance, acting, singing or dancing, you are emoting something and creating feeling in people. So it encourages people to express their emotions and feel their emotions. And when you watch a film, you see a character and they are going through an emotional journey. And for some people, the only time they allow themselves to cry is when they're watching a film.
But that's not a bad idea either. Because actually, they may be crying about something that's going on within the film. Because it's only, as I just said, it's only because it's just triggered something like a mirror. It's mirrored back to them, something within them that needs to be released.
That was another thing I was going to say earlier when we were talking about healers. The way I see it is that the healer is actually a part of you. It's a mirror. So if I bring somebody else into my life, it's a facilitator that our minds have called in. We have called in ourselves, somebody who is able to facilitate us, but that's only because we're ready for that facilitation. So it's like, if you're not ready to receive healing, no matter what, you will not find the right healer.
I actually knew somebody like that. She actually came out with a statement, somebody I used to work with again, and said to me, oh, many people have tried to heal me and they can't.
And they can't, yeah.
Well,
they could.
Okay. They couldn't, because she was not allowing them to. And she was not allowing herself to receive.
Yeah.
So you've got to be open to receive. If you're not open to receive, anybody can do whatever they want. It's not going to work.
No, but that's a good thing, because that's our free will and our choice. So
yes, it is. And maybe sometimes you're not ready.
My belly's making noises. I think it's from earlier. Like, it's working. I'm awakening. I've had this healing and now I'm alive again, free. Honestly, when even before we started doing any healing, I got on the call with you and I felt myself, tears coming into my eyes. Because I felt like, oh, she gets me, she understands, she's empathetic and compassionate. And I think that you don't even need to do anything when you're in the presence with someone that cares. That even just that is healing. And that releases something where I feel safe.
Yes.
I feel safe to open up to this person. I feel able to relax. And I think that some people just are able to do that. I say naturally, but it's a skill. It's a skill that, you know, we practice. Anyone that does anything in their healing work, and that's why it's valuable. And, you know, because it's not easy to do. It's simple, but it's not easy, because you have to let go of your own stuff to be able to then hold the space for somebody else. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that for anyone that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And wow, I have a few thoughts. I have to be honest. I think to be able to help anybody, you have to have done a lot of self-work, because being an empath is one thing, but understanding where it's all coming from, and you know, you need to have lived it. It's like going through something, and then the person's in front of you, who's the healer, has never experienced that. But they will not be able, they can sympathize, but they cannot empathize.
And it's not about the specifics of the situation. So obviously everybody's going to have gone through different things, and we can't all know what it's like to go through, you know, different types of traumas. However, it's about, if you've gone to those depths of feeling where you've really looked at your stuff and gone, oh God, you know, like, well, what's going on here? And then like just felt, I think it's just the feeling of just the act of just feeling and just allowing yourself to feel the pain, and then letting it go. And then that gives you empathy and compassion to a much, much greater level than if you shut it off and try to be seen as something in the world. Because I think that's, I know I still have this kind of like, oh, I want to allow myself to heal and just be, but also, you know, I want people to see me as this, that, the other. But actually that it can be a block as well. I don't, can be.
Well, all I can say is I work on myself constantly. In any situation, I do my best, and I'm only human again. So I still come with my human experience, and I do my best to try and sit back and sit in the seat of the observer. So, and I'm as guilty as anyone else. I may react, but obviously if I'm reacting straight away, is because there's still something triggering me. But if I'm able to sit back and look at it from a different perspective, it's because I've already done some work on that, and I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
So if you are in a position of the healer, if you're sitting with somebody and they're still triggering something within you, it's very difficult to then have that other perspective.
Yeah.
And being able to truly have, but going back to empathy, even though I still feel there's maybe different levels of empathy, because even if you haven't had the same experience as somebody, you can still feel the emotion of what these people are feeling, even though you haven't lived that yourself. I think it's a degree of feeling.
I remember a time when I sat with a friend who had lost their mum, and that's not something, I mean, I've experienced, but the grief that she was able to allow herself to feel so beautifully, it really touched my heart, because it just, even though it was hard, because I'd never seen someone cry so, with so much grief, I was able to kind of feel with her. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of like it,
because you allowed yourself to feel.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm so passionate about the heart, especially the heart center, because the more your heart is open, the more you allow all of this. I don't really know how to explain this. The more you can allow yourself to feel it and let it go, and the more you can express compassion for yourself. And everything starts with us. And the first person we should always do healing on is us, first of all.
Yeah.
I just heard a young person, I don't need to tell you exactly what it is, but I've just heard somebody saying, I'm a fixer. In fact, people, very close to me, I fix others. That's what I do. They're not healers or anything, but they are put in situations where they will attract the same kind of people who are really deeply wounded, and it's very dysfunctional for them.
Mm-hmm.
Life is not good, right? And these two particular individuals I'm thinking of have put themselves in this position of, I'm a fixer, I'm here to make other people happy. Well, actually, no, you need to make yourself happy first. And by making yourself happy, that has a ripple effect outside of you on anybody that you encounter, because you're going to be shining such a light and being on such a high vibe that will impact on others.
I found myself, I'll be completely transparent here, because I think that's what I like to model, because I encourage it. So just as you were speaking, I found myself going into thought about certain things, and then I couldn't concentrate on what you were speaking. What did you say just before? So you spoke about, you had a younger person say, that my mind wasn't
labeling themselves with the label of being a fixer, fixing others.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And the other one is making other people happy.
Yeah.
But what about him? What about him making himself happy?
Yeah.
Because we're not here to, how can I explain this? We're not here to fix others. We're here to fix ourselves and be.
Yeah.
And be bliss and be joy and be the light.
Yeah.
That's not empowering others by trying to fix them.
No.
Giving them the tool to fix themselves, yes.
I feel like I don't generally try to, I may have done before in the past, but my habit is not so much fixing others. Like I kind of allow, when I'm giving a session, or if I'm with a friend, I just allow whatever they need to go through, and I just allow healing to come through, because that's how I've been trained, to just practice stepping back in both, from both a Reiki healing perspective, but also a life coaching perspective.
So you're in the position of supporting and guiding.
Yeah.
And allowing whatever needs to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And to trust that they will receive what they need to receive. And it's not my job to heal them. It's my job to allow healing to happen.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But I was just talking in general about especially the younger generation, because obviously I've got, you know.
Well, what I was going to add, sorry, do you want to speak before? What?
No, I just feel that I've met a lot of young people who are so troubled, so wounded at such a young age, and then come along other young people who are true empath, and they just take on this
so much
role of wanting to, and they don't know how to help, so they think they're just here to fix their friends. And I've seen it so many times.
I do relate to, I can relate to that feeling. I think I try to do it with partners where
and again, if you're going to put yourself in that position of that's what you will attract all the time. You will attract the same kind of people who need fixing, or not fixing, but who need help, who need. So there's nothing wrong with guiding people, giving them the tools, giving them the support, but there comes a point when, if they are not listening, if they are not taking on board any of the self-help tools that you're trying to give them, where you have to walk away.
You have to let
go. That's when it needs to stop.
Also, you have to trust as well that everyone has their own path. So some people don't want to, because that's what I've found difficult, that I always think,
I'm sorry, I'm going to be cut off my battery.
Oh, no. Can you put it somewhere?
I didn't expect it on for so long.
I know. I just was going with it because you were saying so much good stuff. So I don't know how long we've been on. Have you got your charger? Are you able?
No, I don't know where he's at the moment. Oh, hang on. I might have it here. Hold on a second. It might be okay.
Well, if you disappear.
If I disappear,
I will just talk about the workshop.
Sorry, I apologize for seeing you. Right.
Just seeing to say, we've been on, 41 minutes. Wow.
That's the longest live I've ever done.
I just feel like this is so valuable, like all of this stuff that we're speaking about, because so many people will be able to relate to, wanting to fix others or wanting to heal themselves. And what I was going to say before is that I tend to try to fix myself. And that's just the same as trying to fix another person, because you can't do it. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? I try to be like, right, I've got to read that book and do this healing session and with this person. And
it's not even about fixing, because we're perfect as we are. It's about remembering who we are. So there's nothing to fix, really. There's everything to look at, accept, forgive, and be grateful for.
Yeah.
And just goes. That's it. No, it sounds very simple when I say it, but it really actually is very simple.
Yeah.
And once you can accept that there is nothing you need to fix, all you need to do is take off all these layers of programming, of labeling. If you can heal your own traumas, if you can get to the root of what's actually going on, it just falls away. It just falls away, because there's no need for that to be there anymore. Even down to the people that surround you, all the ones that were there to show you what's really going on within, they don't need to be there anymore. They've done their job. Job done. That's it. And this is why, when we have reached the point of having done whatever work you've done on yourself, you'll find that certain friendships, they've ended because you are not in the same, you're not vibrating at the same frequency. I'll talk about frequencies again. As you were when you still needed to do this work. So you literally bring yourself out of this vibration, this lower vibration.
Can I say as well, though, I don't know whether this is just me thinking on the spot, but I don't know whether it's like lower vibration or just different, because sometimes people may be in my life for a bit and then we have an assignment together. I call it like assignment, like a spiritual assignment, as in sometimes both people know, oh, we, you know, you speak about it and you say, yeah, I know why. We do, not necessarily why they've come into your life, but you know that there's a purpose to the meeting, and you know immediately you're like, okay, this person is important in my life and I know I've got something to learn here or release or whatever. They're a mirror. But then sometimes I see these relationships kind of change or fall away, yet I try not to judge whether. So I don't know. It's not that I'm trying not to judge. I just literally don't know. Like, they could be on a higher frequency than me.
It doesn't really matter. Wherever you are, wherever they are, it doesn't matter.
No.
If you love them, is that whatever the reason, and there's a reason for everything. So whatever the reason was, whatever the task was, whatever the learning was from this experience, has been learned.
Yeah,
that is all that matters. Nothing else matters. Nothing.
No.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that subject.
Hard, though. I think it's hard to let go of relationships and friendships.
It's very hard.
You're attached. You get attached to certain people, and you love them. And you want,
I know.
I want them in my life.
I know. I know. I'm going through, I think in the last 7, 8, maybe nearly 10 years, I've had to let go of a lot of people because I have nothing in common with them.
Yeah.
My world is very different to their world.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't love them anymore. It's just that there's no purpose. And all the time you're hanging on to that old relationship where you've done what you had to do.
Yeah.
You are not giving space and room for new relationships to form that are going to be part of more learning.
Yes.
Or more enjoyment as well. It's not just about learning. It's about, how good does it feel when you can have a true connection with somebody and really resonate with them and really feel that deep, deep connection with someone?
I have, I'm reading, well, I've read the book already, but I go back to it, a book called A Course of Love, which is kind of sort of a follow-on of A Course in Miracles, but it's written by a different person. But she talks about in there, it's a channel book, but she talks about let go of learning. It's so, like, you've done it, you've learned, and now we're coming into in the book it talks about Christ consciousness, but like we're coming into a time where we're all one, so we don't need to learn. It's more about being.
Well, at the moment with what's going on, it's exactly we're going through the last the last bits of what we need to work on.
Yeah,
because we've learned loads.
We've learned a lot.
Many times, many learnings, and it's gone.
Yeah. And it's about enjoying. I think it's about actually. Oh, you've disappeared, but I don't know if he's still there. Natalie, you still there? It's gone. Right. Okay. that was a wonderful place to end it. Natalie, if you do come back on, that you let me know. But that was my conversation with Nathalie Carden, the amazing Zen sound healing, which you will get to experience with Nathalie and myself if you come along on Friday, October the 15th, 7:30 till 9:30 p.m. And there is a link on Eventbrite, so you can come and join. And it's been so great to speak to Nathalie. I think that her heart is so full, and if you've listened to this conversation, I'm sure you can resonate with a lot of the things that she's talking about. For me, I feel like the voice and sound is key. It is key to healing the world. And through our voices, through our sound, through our message, through writing, singing, even dancing can be a voice, because you're moving something into being. And it's so important. So if you feel resonant with this message of connecting to the heart through voice and sound, because the heart is where you access love and kindness and generosity and forgiveness and all those things, compassion, what we've talked about today. So if you would like to come along, then do join us, and we will be continuing to share the links so that you can join us. Thank you so much for watching, and follow my pages for Creative Hearts for more workshops as well. And if you need to message for any questions, or if you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat, or you can message either me or Nathalie. And I hope you've enjoyed watching. So thank you very much, and join us on Friday.